Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I thought I'd share this morning's e-bike ride because I had quite a few, different experiences, and enjoyed every minute of it. We're going to see where I said hello to some friends. We're going to see where I talked to a guy still trying to be a policeman. I was. We're going to see what they're doing up here about the drought in southwestern United States, and you're going to see a coyote jump across the canal, and we're going to see a rainbow, and I'm going to tell you a story about a World War II hero. So let's get started. Morning, Gary.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, that was my friend Gary. I met him. I visited with him. It was on a video I put up if you've been following my channel. And then up here, I saw a guy driving a truck over here that works with this field. And in my last video, I talked to some teenagers that were loading up their truck with some bales of hay that had just been harvested. And they said it was okay. I thought, well, here's the guy will know if they were telling me the truth or not. So let's listen to that conversation. Are you you own the field or you work on the field here? Yeah. There were some guys taking some hay yesterday, and I stopped and talked to them. Were they supposed to be doing that, or do you know?
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I know people have been taking it and stuff.
yeah, maybe 2 times. Pick it out the last time and the yesterday. Maybe 2 steaks.
They what now?
2 steaks for the alfalfa. Yeah. Yes, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. All right.
No, thank you.
Yeah, because I got the license plate just in case you were wondering. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well then.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good day.
Thank you.
God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, I didn't understand exactly everything he said. I don't know if he might have put in some Spanish along with the English, but anyway, so now I know those guys were probably just as good as gold, and but I'm glad I checked up just to make sure. So now we'll get on down with our e-bike ride. We're going to run into a situation here where I stop and I look back because they're filling the irrigation ditch, which actually that water comes down from the Colorado River through a system, and they're filling it with water they're pumping out of the ground because there is in the southwest they're calling it a drought because the lakes, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, their levels are dropping down. So, and then morning, Deb. I'm doing good. How about you? All right. That's the lady that lives across the street from us. Her and her husband are wonderful people, really nice. And this corner is dangerous to go down and dangerous to come up because down at the bottom, it's just all sand. And your tire goes sideways and everything in it. But now we're coming along here and we're going to see a coyote jump across the canal. So watch close. There he is. I just barely saw him when I was riding up there, and then I used my editor to zoom in on him, but there he was. He jumped across that canal, which was surprising to me, but I guess he does that probably quite often. I rode along and I looked for him some more to see if he would gone the same direction as me. But I wasn't able to see him again, so I'm sure he ran as far away from humans as he could get. And then, of course, I always have to stop up here at the place where where I crashed my e-bike. That same old rut is still there. In fact, with the rain we had, it got even deeper. But that caught my tire and threw it out to the left, and I ended up on the right side of the road with my face in the berm there. And then I had to ride home with a dislocated shoulder, which was a very painful situation. So anyway, I always stop and look at my my favorite rut. Okay, well, I said I was going to tell you a story, so let's get started on that, about a World War II hero that I was actually able to meet and enjoy a friendship with him. Years ago, many years ago, before I ever got my ham license, I joined the Reader's Digest Military Book Club. And so if I did that, it was a possibility of winning $1 million, if you remember back there, the sweepstakes. So as it turned out, I ended up ordering a book and got it called The Flying Fortress, and it was about the B-17. And I already liked the B-17. It's actually my favorite airplane of all time. And so I read that book all the way through, and so I knew quite a bit about it. Well, I heard a story when I first got my ham license about a guy who was a ham radio. Oh, and there's the rainbow right there. There's actually 2 rainbows, if you'll notice. And people ask me, why is there 2 rainbows? And I just say there's more rain. Anyway, so there was this guy who had his amateur radio tuned wrong or something one Sunday morning. And this church nearby his house, they were just ready for the preacher to start preaching, and the amateur radio came over the PA system. and so that was a story that went around, and I heard about it when I first got my license. And then I was finally able to meet him. His name was Chuck Wallace, and he had been a pilot of a B-17 in World War II, and which I learned later. But he owned a glass shop, and I got to know him really well because the amateur radio room that we had for our ham shack at the school with our ham club was we had to run a antenna cable through the window, and so he was able to cut us a piece of glass and make it so that it would we could run the cable through and the window would work fine. So he came in and did that work for us. Got to know him really well. And so he was ham radio operator, I was ham radio operator, and everything went fine. Years later, I got my Cessna 150, and I was a new pilot. And I can't remember how I got in touch with him, but we were talking, and I told him I had a Cessna 150. And he said, oh, this is when I learned that he was a B-17 pilot. And so I said, well, would you like to go flying? And you fly my 150. And, of course, he said yes. And, by the way, he loaned me, for a couple of weeks, I got to keep his memorabilia from the Second World War, his logbook and his photo albums and his diary and all the little things that he had kept. So he gave them to me, and I could look through them and everything, because it all had to do with the B-17. Well, so anyway, the day came for us to go flying. So we met out at the airport, and we checked out the plane and climbed in. And he flew. He talked to the tower. He took off. And we flew. I told him, just have fun flying, because he didn't have a plane. So anyway, we flew and flew and flew. And so then it was time to come in and land. They had taught us, when I got my license, to pull the throttle back and more or less just glide down to the field. But that's not how they did a B-17. He scared me to death, man. He just had it not full power, but he just dove down and went way down the runway and landed just fine. But that was an excellent, I had an excellent experience with him, and I was glad I got to meet. He was actually a hero. He had been in a prison camp because he got shot down. I forgot to mention that. Super guy, and it was a blessing for me to have met him. So that's my story. I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.